Thank you. I'm super excited to do this session because I really do love digging into the specifics of what's working and then sharing it with you guys and then seeing what you do with it. So I'm going to go relatively quickly, and some people who have seen me present before know that I have a tendency to do that. So I will make the slides available to you, so if you feel like you're going to break your fingers because I'm talking too fast, don't worry about that. The subject is the Bezos Blitz, and what I want to accomplish for you is to show you how to 10x, and I'm not kidding, to 10x your sales between now and the end of the year, which sounds like a really big, hard-to-do thing, but it's really not as challenging as you might think. I want to do 3 big takeaways for you here, is what Amazon's 3 pillars are, and how you can use them to grow your business, and then rapid growth tools, strategies, and tactics for selling on Amazon and off Amazon. And one of the interesting things to me is, did you know that Amazon has grown 280,000 times in income since it first started? 280,000 times. So 10x for you guys shouldn't be that hard, right? Now, I know you're saying, well, Roland, that's 20 years, so really he's only grown it 14,000 times every year. So, and really there's only about a quarter left this year, so if we divide that out, it's only really 350 times, so I'm only asking you to grow 10 times, right, instead of 350. And it's really interesting when you look at what Bezos has done and what he's built. He's has all these other companies. He's acquired Twitch and Audible and Zappos and just recently Whole Foods. And that's very telling in where things are going. And so that's going to inform a lot of what I'm talking with you about today as well. This is the alleged napkin drawing that Jeff Bezos did right before he took Amazon public, when he was explaining to his underwriters and his investors how things were going to work. He was going to grow the company through a lower cost structure, lower prices, a great customer experience, traffic, third-party sellers, and a big selection. It's kind of what he did, right? It's pretty impressive, I think. And so what we can do is look at the 3 pillars and say, from here, marketplace, having a group of people he can sell to, different things. That's both Amazon directly and through third-party sellers, Amazon Prime, and Amazon Web Services. And then the potential 4th pillar that he's hinted at in the shareholder letters, and I think if you read his shareholder letters to the shareholders of Amazon, they're very, very educational. But that's Alexa and artificial intelligence. That seems to be where everything is headed, both as a platform and as a service. And what he said when he was asked about what does the next 10 years hold for Amazon, I think tells you a lot. He said that I very frequently get the question, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And it's a very interesting question and a common one, but I almost never get the question, what's not going to change in the next 10 years? What's not going to change? And I submit to you that the second question is actually more important of the 2, because you can build a business strategy around the things that are stable in the future. In our retail business, we know customers want low prices, they want fast delivery, and they want vast selection, and it's impossible to imagine a future where somebody says, hey, Jeff, I love Amazon, I just wish the prices were a little higher, or I just wish you'd deliver a little more slowly. Impossible. And I think that if we think about that, that's really what has helped him to grow this business 280,000 times, is an unflinching focus on the customer, on lower prices, on a vast selection, on taking care of everybody. And what we should think about ourselves and what you should think about in your business is, how can we lower prices? How can we lower our cost structure? How can we increase the selection and improve our customer experience? How can we get more traffic? And how can we either get third-party sellers, other people that we bring their products in, or how can we improve our selection by adding more to our own products? And if you look at the trends, this is something that's really interesting too, is Amazon's trends. The retail percentage of sales over the last 3 years has dropped from 77% to 67%. Third-party services, the fees that Amazon makes from charging people who are selling on its platform and FBA and things like that, have increased and from 13% to 16%. And then Amazon Web Services has gone from 5% to almost double at 9%. And I like looking at these things when we're looking at our businesses and saying, how can we look at a leader like Amazon and say, what can we do to make more money and make more margin in our businesses? And looking at this, you can see why he's focused on the growth of Amazon Web Services so much, because on almost $80 billion in sales, they made $2 billion in profit, a margin of 2.96%. But on only $12 billion of sales of these services, of these Amazon Web Services, they made $3 billion. So they generated 8.6 times the profit margin on almost 85% less sales. So to me, the big question is, should you be doing more than just retail? I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to let you think about that now. I'm going to talk about it in my session tomorrow. What are some of the things that maybe you should tack on to the retail that you're doing that will allow you, like Amazon, to have a huge profit center on the side that is related to, but not the same as your business, and doesn't require a huge investment in inventory and infrastructure like growing your physical products business does. So I was at a mastermind a few weeks ago with 8- and 9-figure sellers, 8- and 9-figure businesses, and all e-com. And one of the first questions was, are you selling on Amazon? And I was actually shocked that a lot of people weren't. So one of the easiest hacks to help these people get significantly more sales was put your products on Amazon. Put your products on Amazon. How many of you are selling on Amazon right now? Raise your hand. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, all of you that are doing that, that's fantastic. And I'm going to give you some really specific ways to do a whole lot better. But everybody that's not, there's a lot of traffic on Amazon. A lot of traffic, right? And at this mastermind, there was a $30 million sporting goods company, a $230 million health products company, nothing there. And they were like, oh, should we be selling on Amazon? So your competition, a lot of your competition isn't there. And those of you who have agencies, there's an easy win. Right? Hey, sell your stuff on Amazon. More people start their search for products on Amazon than search engines now. Over the last few years, it has gone from almost a flip, right? 55% of the people started their search for products, physical products, on search engines 3 years ago. Now 52% start on Amazon and 38% start on search engines. 52%. So what's the most important search engine for selling physical products? It's Amazon. And it's a search engine. Now, Alexa estimates, says Amazon is the #1 globally for shopping, and they estimate the traffic of monthly unique users for Amazon at 57 million people per month. Now, I'm assuming that that number is fairly accurate because Alexa is owned by Amazon, okay? So, but it's the 5th most trafficked website in the United States and the 11th most trafficked website in the world. You can't afford not to be there. So, if you're on Amazon, how can you sell more faster? I think that Amazon has its own demand-side advertising platform called Sponsored Product Ads, and it also has an Amazon-assisted side of advertising too called Amazon Marketing Services. And that, to me, is where Facebook ads were before anybody knew about them. It's where AdWords was before anybody knew about AdWords. This is a giant opportunity, just an incredible opportunity. And I want to talk about how you can use it. So these sponsored product ads in AMS, you can increase traffic to your product listings, which increases sales, which increases sales velocity, how fast you're selling, ties traffic and conversions to targeted keywords. That's really important. Really important, because you can control what's coming up on Amazon for what search items by driving traffic and getting conversions on specific keywords that you want to pick. It improves your BSR, your bestseller rank. It increases organic visibility and organic sales. And here's what it looks like. You've got 7 out of 10 shoppers only purchase from the first page. It's kind of like Google, right? Where nobody really goes past the first page. On Amazon, only 30% of the total people who are looking for a product will go past the first page of results. So it's really important to be there. Now, sponsored product ads allow you to have new or low-ranking or low-reviewed items appear where the competition already is. So if the competition already owns the spot, this is kind of a way to jump the queue and get around that. And there's 3 types of these ads. There are headline search ads, sponsored products, and product display ads. And I did a chart for you. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it right now to tell you about all of the different characteristics of this, but I'm going to direct your attention to the grayed out line because I think this is important, is Amazon headline search, top of funnel, Amazon sponsored products, middle of funnel, and Amazon product display ads, bottom of funnels. So when you create your ads, you want to think about where in the buyer's journey are the people who are going to be looking at them. And one thing that a lot of people that I've talked to don't even realize is that now Amazon offers you the ability to create your own landing pages on Amazon. So you can run a product display ad and send somebody directly to a landing page that you've designed, or you use one of their templates that doesn't have all of that other competition. On Amazon, you never have to take them out, and the conversions are crazy. So here's the way it works. These headline search ads are ads that appear at the top of the search results when somebody searches in Amazon. And that's for awareness stage, when somebody's just looking. The consideration stage, when somebody's just kind of looking at a bunch of different products and trying to figure out what they want, you're going to run sponsored product ads. And then when they're down to the decision, you're going to run a product display ad. A product display ad, which then you can take straight to the landing page. The keywords work very similar to the Googles, broad, phrase, and exact. And you have the ability to target 2 different ways. You can do automatic targeting, which is where Amazon targets for you and identifies keywords for you. And then you can do manual targeting. And the way to work this is use automated targeting to identify keywords initially. And then this is down here, and when the keywords get identified by Amazon, you take them and put them into the manual selection, and then you put a negative keyword for that keyword in the automated one. And the reason that you're going to do that is Amazon will say, oh, okay, well, it's tactical pen, so tactical pen is a keyword, and we're going to say, great, that's an automated keyword. We're going to put that now in the manual, and we're going to put negative tactical pen in the automated, so now Amazon's going to go, tactical pen, oh wait, no, they said not that, now here's our next best one. So you're effectively getting Amazon to give you their data, which they will not give you voluntarily, and give you every single keyword that they think applies to your ad in the order that they think of importance and relevance that they are, based on all of their data points. That's a big deal. And your goal is to do that until you don't have any more keywords, until Amazon says, hey, we got nothing. Now you're in your manual, you can run your tests and see what's performing best and what's not. So the auto ones allow you to quantify the exposure and optimize the listing by checking click-through rates and sale rate by keyword. That's the important part. It's like getting the not provided from AdWords. And if you see your customer searching for a particular product and it's getting a whole lot of impressions, then you want to include it in your product title, your description, your back-end keywords, and your bullets. You can do all this manually, or you can use a tool. I do not have any interest in this company, although Lanny Coates, who owns it, is a good guy, and I think he has built an amazing tool. It's called Helium 10, and it basically automates all that. I'm sure there are other things too. This is what I use. But here's what it does. So you basically tell it, select all the keywords that are relevant to your product. It's a software suite. This is called Magnet. So I click for tactical pen, all the things that I think are close. And then it goes out and tells me all the information from its database of Amazon transactions, tells me all the keywords that matter, and then we'll import them into a thing called Frankenstein, which allows you to remove duplicates, maintain phrases, protect numbers, remove common words, et cetera, and have this whole list. You can see I've got total characters of 4,157 and total words, keywords in this case of 719. I know that based on the recent changes in Amazon's, what they'll allow you to have in back-end keywords, I only get 250 characters. This is a way to go and then go to the next thing, which is called Scribbles, that has title and description, back-end keywords, and bullet points, and gradually pick out of here what I want. And as I pick it, as I start moving keywords over here, they disappear from here. So I can go through until I end up with basically no keywords. So as I design my Hoffman Richter tactical pen, glass breaker, self-defense, survival gear, all those keywords are disappearing from here, and I can see everywhere that I need them in here and then push it out to my listing. Really, really powerful. And then it'll track them. So you can optimize for conversion and click through. You will be given the option to optimize for average cost of sales. Don't choose that. That's a good guide, but you really want to know what's converting and clicking through. If you've got low CTR or conversion, then start changing and testing your pricing, your listing, your images, that sort of thing. They will improve over time, your organic listings, because they will drive, these paid ads will drive sales, which Amazon cares most about, right? I mentioned running the auto campaign, run the manual with the auto-identified keywords, and then just continue until there aren't any keywords left. That is, to me, if I'm an agent or I have the product on Amazon, that's just the most powerful thing in the world, and so few people are doing it. It's still in its infancy, so huge opportunities. Next thing you can do is contextually optimize your Amazon listings and third-party PPC for commercial intent keywords. And this is something that, did anybody hear Michael Devlin speak? Or I don't know if he spoke yet. Okay, Michael Devlin is a really super smart dude from Scotland. You can't understand what he says, so I'm going to tell you what he's going to say too. It's a great plan. No, so what you do is you just go into Amazon to your competitors' listings, just copy everything that's in the listing, and then go to grep words. Grep words is something that SEOs use to find keywords, and it allows you to identify commercial intent keywords. There are other programs that do this as well. Grep words is what Michael recommended I use. I think it's super cool. So I paste the description in, and then it will identify all of the commercial keywords that are tied to buying intent, which then I can go and put into my listing so that my listing has the most commercially relevant keywords to drive actual purchases. It's kind of like cheating. You get to take all the best stuff from all the competitors. Another wonderful strategy is vendor-powered coupons. Is anybody here using vendor-powered coupons? Very few. Okay, a couple people. So vendor-powered coupons, it's like a whole different site on Amazon, and Amazon treats it almost like a different site. So you have the ability to offer deals and coupons on deals here and not compete with all the other people and who have higher BSRs than you might. So if you go to the Amazon homepage and click on today's deals, you'll come to a page like this. If you click on coupons, then you'll come to the vendor-powered coupons page. And you can create these coupons for the products that you're selling, right? So your strategy, and one of the reasons I make all these available is because it's hard to tell you all this stuff because there's so many steps, right? But one of the strategies is you promote them like any other product listing. You just create a bigger discount or coupon than your competition, and that's kind of like winning the buy box. Because if you create the coupon that gives the best discount so that the ultimate price on the product is lower than anybody else in this section, then you're going to receive a showcased coupon. A showcased coupon. So when somebody goes straight here, your coupon's going to show up. That is a huge advantage. You can promote these on third-party sites. So if you Google submitted deal, you'll find, I did it last night, you find about 1 million sites, 1 million search results for submitted deals. So you can submit these coupons on third-party sites who are looking for deals to offer to their people and will send you free traffic to your Amazon listing that will then convert, that will then give you better rankings. I think that's a really great hack. So give them also to friends and families and discount your product down to cost if you're looking to get reviews and things like that. Anybody that reviews your product at that point will be a verified review, verified buyer. Amazon, I mentioned, is a search engine, right? Their algorithm is called A9. A9 is their search engine, just like RankBrain now is Google's. So it's important for us to know how to deal with A9. Remember, all searches, though, on Amazon are buyer searches. 52% of the people who are looking to buy a product start their search on Amazon. You want to be there. So let's look at the long tail here. So if there's 1,500 long tail keywords that get only 12 searches a day, only 12 searches a day, that's 18,000 buyer searches a month. If 20% of those people buy, you just made 3,600 sales during the month. For people who are searching 12, there's 57 million people a month coming to Amazon. We're only trying to get people who are looking for 12 people who are looking for the green gremlin air freshener Superman limited edition thing that hangs from the mirror, right? But those people are there. So optimize your listing to capture these sales too. Look at the long tail. And then run paid and SEO traffic campaigns so that you can own these keywords. So just going back here, before we were looking at how do we get keywords for our sponsored product ads and our AMS ads, here we're talking about how do we get keywords for search. Basically the same. Merchant Words is one of my favorite keyword tools. They are here as an exhibitor upstairs. You should definitely talk to them. I also use Keyword.io, Google Keyword Planner, the Amazon suggested search, which is when you start typing it in and the little list of suggestions comes down. Helium 10, which I showed you before, and then that's just the strategy of using automated and manual campaigns. So the next thing that you want to do is look at a wonderful tool that Amazon provides called the Search Term Report. How do you find the Search Term Report? You go to Reports, Advertising Report, Search Term Report, but you only get 60 days. Amazon is stingy with their data. You only get 60 days, so if you don't do this every 60 days, then you lose it, right? They won't let you go back farther than that. And then create a pivot table, which will ultimately give you download the search term report, paste it into Excel, create a pivot table with these fields, and then go read this article to see exactly, because it's too complicated for me to tell you here, but it will give you the best and most profitable keywords to use in your search campaign if you follow this. Okay? So use the search term report to optimize those campaigns. 60 days or you lose the data, find what people are searching for, and when your ads are served. Google won't tell you that, but these guys will. They'll say, we're serving your ad every time this keyword comes up. You now own this keyword, right? Ignore terms that are kind of outliers, fewer than 4 clicks, or CTRs of under 0.5. Choose keywords that have high sales rates and per click-through and a low average cost of sales, and then adjust and add to your keyword list based on this data. And then run that manual auto thing again. Then back to Helium 10, this is pretty cool too. You can run a list of the search terms and end up, in this case, it was for balance board. So you'll see Fitboard has 2,270 monthly searches, and there's 125,000 people trying to sell these things. That's a lot of competition. So what a tool like Helium 10 allows you to do is identify the opportunities, because for Wobbleboard, there's 1,210 people searching a month for it, but there's only 543 competitors that are offering products. That's one we can go after. And just like SEO, if we start going after all these LSI type keywords, and we start owning the buy box for them, we start owning the A9 search results for them, then we're more likely to get into the highly competitive ones. So it's the same thing, work your way up. Optimize your listing with all your targeted keywords. The priority is title first, then your back-end keywords. These are the keywords nobody sees, then the bullet points, and then the product description. That'll give you the biggest bang for your buck. Justin Laguerre, who is speaking here also, super smart guy, was the first guy to crack $1 million in a day on Amazon, gave us this strategy for really owning the search results. And it's basically just create a better offer. So he wanted to rank for glow stars, So there were 500 and some thousand results on Amazon for glow stars. And so he said, okay, well, I'm going to give them more stars than anybody else did, because these things are basically free from China, and I'm going to give them the moon. So I'm going to give them the moon and the stars, right? And if you Amazon, if you A9 this, you'll see here for glow stars, now there's 21,461 results for glow stars, 1 of 16, and under the sponsored ad, he's number 1 in about a week. And it's a better offer. Perry would be very proud. It's a better offer to get the moon and the stars than just to get the stars, okay? The second strategy for winning the buy box, make sure you're eligible first. There's a few things to be eligible, but then lower your price. If you find your competitors' prices and you offer to sell and ship, because Amazon considers shipping in the price in determining who wins the buy box, but all you have to do is be able to sell and ship for a penny less, then you should rank higher in the buy box. And you can use an app like Wiser to go out and look at all of the competitors' prices and tell it that you want to price your product automatically 1 penny less than theirs every single time with a floor of X so you don't lose money. This is what your competition is doing, right? If you're doing this now, you can totally own this stuff. And then use fulfilled by Amazon. You do get, in our experience, special treatment if you are using Amazon's FBA. And then strategy 3 is ASIN piggybacking. So if you identify a successful product that is not unique in that it's not a Chanel wallet. You can't make your own Chanel wallet. I mean, you can, but you know, some people you might get in trouble. I'm just saying. Identify a successful non-unique product and then find its ASIN, which in the product detail section shows up here, and it also shows up in the URL at the end. Find that ASIN and then research the manufacturer to see if you can resell it and determine if the wholesale cost plus shipping plus a penny is the total or less than the current winner of the buy box. If it is, then you've found something, right? You can sell this related product. You can own the buy box. If it's not, then what we do is we go to the manufacturer and we just try to cut a deal. Wiser is the solution that I mentioned that will go out and do the automatic pricing for you. And that's wiser.com. Okay. Another thing that can really, really, really amplify your sales is working with influencers. And there's a great example here. A buddy of mine, Drew Canoli, owns a company called Fit Life TV. He sells a thing called Organifi, which is a green juice and a bunch of other health stuff. And he's been going to influencer podcasts. So he identifies people who are relevant and similar in appeal to the audience that he's looking for, that have a podcast, and then he contacts them directly and makes them an offer to do 6 videos. 6 videos, not 1 video. Why? Because he's going to split test. And then he'll test different start images, different titles, and different descriptions in the 6 videos, and then pick the one that works the best. And here's the kind of results that you can achieve. So influencer 1, he's spending $2,000 with. He's getting $8,000 back every week. He's paying a commission of $10,000 in addition to the 2. So his net revenue per week is $5,400. It's a 7-day return on ad spend of $286. That's pretty good. 52-week revenue, $416,000. Another one, he's paying $500. Another one, he's paying $675. They're generating net revenue of $4,516. This return on ad spend is $1,000 a week, 1,000% a week. I think Buffett can't do that. I mean, 1,000% a week. And then 270 here. So 416,000, 260,000, 130,000, paying almost nothing to these influencers to create videos, and the persistence is good. In other words, he's able to do this for a long, long, long time. This is a ridiculously good strategy for growing your company fast. Nick Coates, another friend of ours at hypemedia.io, goes out to influencers and says, hey, you're not really selling anything right now. You're not making any money except on the t-shirts you sell and the ads. And that's a lot of influencers. Not Vin Diesel, right? Not tens of millions of followers, but in this kind of mid-level. So this guy, Drew Manning, is the influencer. So Nick goes to him and says, okay, you're the host of A&E TV show, Fit to Fat to Fit. He was super fit. He gained a bunch of weight, and then he lost it. 650,000 likes, decent engagement. He does have a New York Times best-selling book, but anybody that can buy that can have that. 75,000 Instagram followers, 22,000 YouTube, and about 104 podcasts. I'm just showing you that to say he's not like this giant icon, right? But he's still an influencer. There's still a lot of people that follow him, and it can generate pretty good money. So the first week that he launched this, Nick goes in and basically says, hey, you don't have a product now. I'm going to create your product, your offer, your OTOs, your one-time offers, your upsell funnel, all that stuff. And I'm going to do all the media buying, and I'm going to rev share with you. And this is week 1 launch numbers of the first launch that he did with this guy. Spent 120 grand, made 229, $35 CPA, got 765,000 people pixeled on the page for retargeting, and the average order value is $65.71. So during the first week, he ended up making $368,869. Over the 3 months, $1.3 million just from reaching out to the influencer and doing what all of you know how to do. Create a product that will appeal to their people, run some ads, and then split the money. If you're looking for influencers, there's a whole bunch of different websites that you can go to that will help you find them if you can't find them on your own, but you should know them if they're in your industry. You can use artificial intelligence for dynamic audience optimization. There's a really cool tool called ToneDen, 6 times return on ad spend. So what this does is it looks at your audiences and then uses artificial intelligence to say, okay, this is the Facebook Ads Manager, the way it's managing things. It's looking at 3 different audiences, and the cost to sell the shirt's $22. What ToneDen does is it goes, applies its algorithms and everything. It identifies the audiences that should perform or that are performing, gets rid of the ones that aren't. Cost to sell the shirt goes down to $9. That's the ad. I'm pretty sure $9 is better than 22. I think it's worth it. It will also take all of your creative, your image, your videos, your CTAs, descriptions of links, everything, and then mix and match them and keep pulling them and matching them up until it gets the one that is going to work the best, that has the best ROAS. In this case, test was 17 times return on ad spend. You can also optimize Facebook ads to 10 times your revenue, because it's all about how can we get you 10 times return. My buddy Travis Phipps, who's out here at Battle Bridge Labs, they run traffic for us on quite a few platforms. In this case, for a shoe retailer, all they did was they did advanced bid adjustment. So they went into Google AdWords and they changed around the remarketing time of day, day of week, and geography. They found a pixel that was bad. 24 times revenue in 3 years for a shoe guy. 24 times revenue. And then for a video camera e-commerce site, 10 times in 4 months. 10 times in 4 months by creating a single video and running it on Facebook. Using Facebook dynamic product ads. We've been testing a lot. This is where you upload your entire catalog to Facebook, and then it automatically pulls the specific products that people have looked at into creative that you design, a creative template, and we've had some pretty good results for it. So you upload your catalog to the business manager, add a custom pixel, create a dynamic template, that's just the ad, and then set up display product ads in the Power Editor, and here's our results. The winners are in yellow. So for us, the control, we had 50,000 impressions, 4.6% click-through rate, gross sales of $1,900, cost per conversion of $26. With the dynamic product ads, a significantly higher conversion rate, 8.3, a whole lot more clicks. The conversion rate was about the same, but we were getting so many more clicks that it made a huge difference, almost double, 100 instead of 53 sales. Made $3,685 instead of $1,900, and our cost per click went from 60 cents to 17 cents. 60 cents to 17 cents. Another thing is using Google Shopping ads. This was an interesting set of tests for us. So changing the product description had almost no impact, because we want to know what moves the needle, right? Changing the product category, almost no impact. But when we looked at the search term that was triggering the query and optimized the product titles based on the product-specific search queries, so just in the title of the product, we put what the search term is, it was a 10x increase in specific product traffic and a 17% more traffic to other products. Personalized landing pages for returning customer to increase conversions. There's a couple of really good tools for this. Get Bunting. Bunting is the tool. Case study, 31% increase in revenue, 92% increase in time on site. All this is doing is it's tailoring the recommendations to what your visitors see, and it's pulling the things that they're most likely to be interested in and making a landing page based on that. So 31% increase in revenue, 92% time on site. Evergage, similar, 7x in conversions, 26% increase in click-through rate. And then split tests. There was, Qubit did a study that they published in June of this year for 6,700 different online experiments with 7, 8, and 9-figure clients to see what are the split tests that actually move the needle. And it turns out it wasn't very much. Out of all these different things, product badging, buttons, default setting changes, landing page, calls to action, the 4 that moved the needle the most were scarcity, social proof, urgency, and abandonment. So if you're looking to test and see what can have the biggest impact on your conversions, let's start with these things that we learned from these 6,700 tests. So we did that, right? And these are 4 different ads that we ran testing an offer in Survival Life. So There's one that's the static image, just the picture. There's one that is an animated GIF or GIF, depending on your preference. And then there's a cinematograph, which is everything is frozen except just this little bit of action here, and then an actual video. So we tested these 4 things for the exact same product as close as we possibly could, and here are some of the results. So 50,000 impressions, click-through rates. This is, to me, important in looking at all of the data. The winners, again, are in yellow. Look at the animated GIF. The animated GIF looks like it won in CTR, and it won in number of clicks, it won in number of sales, and in dollars. But if we'd only been looking at conversion rates, look at the difference. Conversion rates for the animated GIF, 4.3%, but video converted at 8.8. So if we were only looking at conversion rates, you'd say, well, let's just run the video, but then you'd lose a whole bunch of money. So it's important to look at all of the numbers. Here's another one. This is gross sales, animated GIF won here. Percent improvement, 188%. But video ultimately performed better at a 285% return on ad spend as opposed to 248. So video and the animated GIF seem to be outperforming still images by a lot, by a whole lot, and also cinemagraphs. We had talked about cinemagraphs last year. Now, here are the easiest things of all, I think, to make money. And this is all to do with the way that you're offering things, how your funnels are structured, and how to make a lot of money. So, first thing, offer more than one. The thing that someone who buys something from you wants to buy the most, usually, now not if you're selling a car, although maybe they want to, they just can't afford it, is another one of the things that they already bought from you. That's the easiest thing to sell. So in all our offers, or at least in a lot of our offers, the ones that we're doing right, we're offering multiples right off the bat, right? Whether it's a t-shirt or a life straw or whatever. And here's the difference. So this is a single product offer. We do a tripwire or a product. We sell 5,000 of them. We make $24,000. Our EPC is $2.48. Our immediate customer value, or ICV, is $4.95. That means we can spend $4.95 to get a customer. If we offer multiple products, then you'll see the price changes. Back here, the price was $4.95. Here, the price ranges between $4.95 and $49.95 because they can buy up to 10 of them. Our revenue goes to $60,000. Our EPCs increased to $6. Our ICVs to 12. And the difference is the multiple buys. And it seems like, not everything skews this way, but it's pretty close. It seems like you'll get about 40% of the people that buy one and another 30 that take two. And then the rest come down here. But this 5% contributes more than the 40% that bought the one thing, right? The 40% of the people that bought the one thing contributed $9,900 to revenue. The 10 people that bought, the 250 people instead of 2,000 that bought the 10-pack contributed significantly more. So if you compare them, the single product offer, by just offering one thing, we make $247,000 in 10 days, but the multi-product offer makes $606,000 in 10 days. That's a couple of really, really, really nice bottles of wine. Okay? And just to show you other people that are doing this successfully, Hint, you saw Kara I interviewed yesterday, right? So if you go to hintwater.com, or I think it's Get Hint or Drink Hint, then you'll see she offers the ability to buy multiple products. My buddy Randy at the seafood company offers the ability to buy multiple patties. And this is a really smart thing that I suggest you all think about. So Randy sells seafood. He sells salmon. And it occurred to him that people who are buying salmon might want to buy, they're in it for the health as much as they are the taste, and so they might want to buy salmon oil supplements. So he started selling salmon oil supplements too, and I thought that was really smart. And again, he gives you the ability to buy multiple bottles. So create continuity billing, and I'm going to show you how all this stuff ties together in a second. So if we have a product, we get 10,000 clicks, 5,000 buyers of a $20 product, we make $100,000, right? And you've got $10 EPC, $20 ICV. If instead we offer continuity at the same price to start, we make the same amount of money, but because, let's say it's a 10% churn, but because it is continuity, it ultimately generates a ton of money, right? A lot more. As a matter of fact, without a continuity funnel, without a continuity offer, I said funnel, but here I'm not talking about funnels, just offers. You're offering the ability to buy something on auto ship or a membership, but a physical product on auto ship applies here as well. So our EPC, I don't care about. Our ICV, I don't care about because they're exactly the same because it's the one-time purchase here equals the one-time purchase here. But this extra, this lifetime value over the next year goes from $10 to $71.78. It's about 7.2 times greater simply because we put them on auto ship. And I can't tell you how many people that we've worked with where we said, hey, why don't you give your customer the ability to auto ship that? And they're like, gosh, that's a great idea. We're going to try that. And then they make a whole lot more money. Amazon does this, right? Amazon has Prime, and Amazon has Subscribe and Save. So we're learning from Amazon as well. I think they're pretty smart folks too. So the thing to think about here is that for e-commerce spending, a new customer costs $24.50 on average, according to McKinsey and Bain, and a repeat customer will spend, this is how much they'll spend, not how much they cost. New customer will spend $24.50. A repeat customer will spend almost twice that. And the cost to acquire a new customer is 6 to 7 times more than that of retaining existing customers. So definitely give your existing customers the chance to continue to be a customer by offering a continuity product. And again, you can see Kara does this at Hint. Some of the things that are specials, she isn't able to do it with, but she offers a subscribe to save feature as well. And on the product, so she's got it on the product category page. She's got it on the product detail page, subscription, 14% off. And she's got it in the cart. So she's got 3 runs at them, and I think that's the way to do it. As many cracks at it as you can. Lori Taylor, who owns TrueDog, does the same thing, and what she offers is, and you can see that offering a bit of a discount, like she offers 7, Kara offers a 14% discount on the order if you sign up for auto ship right away. So you're giving a good incentive for your buyer to actually take the auto ship. You're making it convenient for them, and then Lori's gone a step farther, and she calls it the TrueDog Love Club. So she's created an actual, like a name, like I'm caring for my dog, it's a love club, and so there's a community and an identity around it as well. But time after time after time, despite no matter how many times we talk about this stuff, I'll go to somebody's site that's like, hey, can you help us improve conversions? And we'll look at it and we'll go, well, you're selling a product. In this case, it's a frozen item, right? And you're not giving me the chance to get it shipped to me for my convenience every single month. How about if we just do that? Use upsell funnels. This is important, and we do this, we teach this a lot in traffic conversion, but a lot of folks in e-commerce are still wrestling with how do I offer funnels within a platform like a BigCommerce or a Shopify or something like that. And I'm going to talk about that, but look at the difference. So in this case, a product with 5,000 buyers generates, at $4.95, generates $24,750. If we add upsells at standard take percentages, that jumps from $24,000 to $64,000. The difference, EPC 248, EPC 642, immediate customer value jumps from $4.95 to $12.83. I can outspend these people all day long. I can double this spend. Let's call this $5. I can spend $10, twice what they're able to spend to acquire the customer, and still make almost $3. That's a big deal. That's called winning, right? So 24,000 versus 64,000. So adding upsells and downsells for TrueDog, I just mentioned Lori. These are the actual numbers when we added this to her site. 287% increase in revenue, immediate. 287% immediate increase in revenue. 250% increase in subscription onboards. 460% increase in returning customers versus one of the other platforms she was using. And this was using a plugin for Shopify called CartHook. There are several of these that are out there. Some of them might work better for you and your tech stack than others, so I'm just going to give them all to you. CartHook is the one that she was using. It's the one that we're using right now. Ezra has one in Zipify Pages, which is also great. There's a company called Bold Commerce that a lot of folks that I know are using, and I believe you can do it in ClickFunnels and Lead Pages too, but these are the ones to me that I like the best. And again, this was a change from an upsell offer conversion rate from 15% to 67%. Now, when it gets interesting is when we combine multiples plus continuity, plus upsells. All right? So we're going way farther down the rabbit hole now. So this is an upsell funnel with 5,000 buyers, right? It's going to generate for us with continuity, with a 1-year LTV. So we've got our initial sale, 5,000 at 20, 100 grand. We've got our continuity for 1 year. This is all of the payments that are going to come for the 11 months after the initial sale, assuming a 10% churn rate. That's an extra 617,800. We're going to get 20% uptake on the first upsell, another 49 grand, and a 10% uptake on the second upsell, another 100 grand. So $866,000 using all three of these things together, compared to 100,000 if we don't, which if you do the math, it's 8.6 times the revenue. You see how powerful this is? It's really, really going to change the game for a lot of people. Add social proof statements throughout your visitors and your customer experience. FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out, is a plugin that we are using really successful. One of my buddies, Oliver Waller, generated 164 times return for JJ Virgin, his client, on her e-com site simply by adding this. And all it does, and you guys have probably seen it, it's this little thing that pops up and says, Anne in Sudell, United States, purchased Chewy Paleo brownie bars, box of 12. That's social proof. When you're on the site and you see that Anne bought a box of those while you were watching, well, number one, it's like, what the hell, Anne? I don't know how many of those she has. I want my chocolate paleo brownie bar, Anne, you know, right? So it makes you want to buy. We are all human. We do that. Again, Cara, she's on top of everything, right? Same thing. Adrienne in Kingsport bought a variety pack of hint water, which pisses me off because I want the cherry hint water and there's not that much of it. So within 30 days, case study, Pura Vida, which sells these really cool bracelets. You can see that they're using that as well. Direct revenue, 32,983 sales out of nowhere just from putting this plugin on their site. 14% roughly conversion rate, 203% higher than the normal site average just because those little things are coming up. And an average order size of $32, which is 11% higher than the normal. So definitely something worth trying. Add a customer loyalty program. This used to be called Sweet Tooth. Now it's called Smile.io. But here are the stats on the average benefits, and then I'll give you a case study. So 20% increase in sales on average just by having a loyalty program. So this is something where you go and you buy on the site and you're rewarding behavior for specific behaviors. So let's say that you go on the site and you want somebody to set up an account. Then you say, I'm going to give you 1,000 reward points for setting up the account. And then when you take this action, I'm going to give you another 500, et cetera, et cetera. And then they can redeem those for products on your site. That's all that is. So 20% increase in sales, 18% increase in lifetime customer value, 14% increase in repeat purchasers, and 5x in average spend. 5x. Amazon does this. It's called Prime, right? So taking a look at that real quick, and this is some data that Amazon actually did release. Amazon Prime loyalty program, members spend 2 times non-Prime members. They spend $1,300 versus $700, and they visit the site 25 times a year versus 14 times a year. So taking a page out of Amazon's book, this program now, by the way, this is in June of 2017. It's grown over the last 3 years from 44 million to 85 million members. 85 million members, 67%, 2/3 of every household in the United States subscribes to Amazon Prime. Percentage of adults who are age 15 and above, 33%. That is a powerful continuity program. So here's a 3-month test on a loyalty program. This is with the Maca team, right? It's a Maca superfood kind of thing. So $300,000 in reward member revenue over 3 months, $100,000 a month, $130,000 repeat purchase revenue, almost 4,000 new members, and a 31% repeat purchase rate. Loyalty programs work. Another one over a year, $1 million. This is I think this is a clothing one. But $1 million in revenue, 51% of the people actually redeeming, meaning they're interacting with the program. That's phenomenal. 20% is the average. Another $4,000 in reward members and almost 20% repurchase rate. Definitely something worth trying. Also, add a guarantee. Money back guarantee, 60-day satisfaction guarantee to reverse the risk, right? It's against your business interest to do this. That's why people believe it. It's like, oh, well, they wouldn't offer a guarantee if they had a crappy product because they'd go out of business, right? 3 times sales in 1 year for mobile, which provides international phones to people who are domestic. Increased revenue from about 3 million to 9 million just by adding the guarantee. Didn't do anything else at all. Have a strong referral program. So the average referral CPA is $3 according to statistics. Somebody refers you, that person on average costs you $3. If you're display or PPC, the average is $40. That's across a lot of industries. And the average retargeting CPA is $10. So it's significantly less to get referrals than it is anything else. 82% of Americans say that they seek recommendations from friends and family when they're considering a purchase. 88% say that they would like some sort of incentive for sharing a product. So creating these programs that incentivize people to share, and then they get the benefit of sharing it with a friend, but they also make some money, are significant, right? And you can see the compound growth of referrals over time. When somebody refers, this is using Ambassador. We're testing Ambassador right now, so getambassador.com. But you can use any of these to do this, and you can see it's a significant uptick on people who, on the income of people from referrals. Referral Candy, Friend Buy are kind of the two that you see all the super enterprisey, like the Honest Company and those guys using, Dollar Shave. Forwards is another. Smile.io is the one that Lori used in the case study that I gave you a minute ago. And we're testing Ambassador right now and getting really good results. And again, Amazon does the same thing. Amazon has a referral program. They'll pay me $5. Roland's Amazon, they'll pay me $5 just to refer somebody else. You can see I've referred a whole lot of people. 10x tools. These are just tools that I would like for you to take a look at. And I'm going to tell you kind of why. Smartly is one that I see a lot of influencers using right now, and we're just starting to test that, but it's a managed solution for Facebook and Instagram. It's performance-based, so you don't pay unless they make you money. Marapost, who is out here, and Klaviyo for email. Meet Edgar for content marketing. Meet Edgar recycles your content so that if you post something on Facebook and only 6 people see it because Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to show it unless you pay, it will take that content and keep kind of throwing it back up. Lumen 5 has changed the business for a few people that I know who are doing super, super well. These are all from people who have done 10x in the last 9 months, okay? Lumen 5 takes your posts and automatically turns them into videos and then posts them out. It's kind of amazing. Shopify Plus or BigCommerce. BigCommerce is out here down the hall. Merchant Words, who's upstairs. Helium 10 that I mentioned for keywords. Ezra, who is speaking, I think today and tomorrow, has a theme called One Stop Shop. The average increase in average order value for the people who I know that have switched to Ezra's theme is 17% increase. So 17% bump in AOV just from switching to that theme. Yotpo or Stamped for customer reviews and user-generated content. CartHook, I mentioned Lori and we are using, and Bold for upsells in Shopify or BigCommerce. I think they work with both of those. FOMO Ambassador for social proof. Conversio for customizing receipts. It used to be called Receiptful. That's customizing receipts so that if you're not putting a call to action on the receipts that you send everybody, the order confirms that go out, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to get additional customer satisfaction, additional customer positive actions like Facebook likes or shares, and money in giving them offers. Zappos Insights to train the customer service team. Hello Bar to do special offers, those little bars that kind of come up and give you offers. Smile.io for customer loyalty rewards. Recharge for recurring billing, and Olark for live chat. These are tools that everyone, all of the folks that I'm talking to who are doing 10x on their business in the last 9 months, they're using these tools, okay? Multiple people. Definitely worth checking out in your business. And then last but not least, has this stuff been helpful? Okay. If you use it and you let me know, send me a message on Facebook or LinkedIn and let me know what you used that's worked for you. I will really appreciate it because our whole team is here to help you. We really want you to take this stuff and use it, not just go, man, that's cool if I could do that someday, right? Last but not least, how do you compete with Amazon when Amazon is offering to ship things to people's door in an hour for some places, but definitely within 2 days for, I believe, everywhere in the United States? How do you compete with that when you don't own a bunch of 747s and you don't own a bunch of cars and you're not Jeff Bezos, right? There's a really cool meme going on that I've seen with Jeff Bezos, and I think the guy's awesome, by the way, so I'm just going to tell you this. I think it's really funny. But it's got in 1995, I think when he launched, a picture of him in kind of like this cardigan sweater looking off going, I sell books. And then there's another one of him coming off a helicopter and he's like all buff and it's, I sell whatever the fuck I want to. Anyway, so how do you compete with them? So this guy's done a good job, and I gave you the full length so you can look it up. But he's in Austin, and I'm going to try to get him to come out to our next event, to Traffic and Conversion Summit, and share this. But he has put everything together to be able to ship within 2 days. So he's matching the Prime, and I think this is what we all have to step up and do. And here are all the tools that are being used to do it. He's using Stitch Labs, which is fantastic. So the order comes in from Amazon. Actually, I've got the walkthrough. I'll do that in a second. So Stitch Labs, Shopify, Code Mentor or Freelancer to get the little snippets and do the integrations between these things. Klaviyo, he's using for email. Pop-ups, a thing called Privy, which this is the first time I had seen that, but it looks pretty cool. Sales taxes are automatically computed for every state based on an app called TaxJar. Accounting is done by QuickBooks. He does Kickstarters as well using a thing called BackerKit and ShipStation, Packable for packing, and Flexport for freight. And here's how it works, and I think this is just awesome. So it's comfortableclub.com, and this is how they do it. The order comes in on the sales channel, whatever it is. It gets pushed to Stitch Labs, which is the inventory management system. The invoice is pushed to QuickBooks for immediate realization of income, and then pushed to the warehouse with mapped shipping. 30-minute grace period for order changes so that they're not doing it so fast that when the customer changes their mind, it's already gone out and they have to do an RA, return authorization, right? Items are picked, packed, and shipped. The shipping notice is sent back to Stitch Labs with the packing list. That triggers the shipment notification email according to the packing list, and then it sends the COGS to QuickBooks to immediately realize the expense. I think that's just outstanding. So he's getting every order out in 2 days or less, and thereby able to compete with Amazon. Now, what I didn't show you is things that violate terms of service. And a lot of people will game the system. So please don't do things. When you read about take a super URL and send it to everybody and have them click on that and then buy, because it'll fool Amazon into thinking that you searched for the product first and then bought for this keyword. You don't have to do that. If you use the stuff that I just gave you, you don't have to use that stuff, and that stuff is very short-lived. I think those hacks are really dangerous because you can lose your account and lose access to these 57 million people that Amazon is giving you access to every single month, and all these amazing tools that most people don't even know about. Right? I spoke to a group of a couple hundred folks a few days ago, and I asked them, they were all agency owners, and you guys are in here that I spoke to, so I know you know this too, but I said, how many of you who are doing SEO work and PPC work for customers as an agency are doing Amazon pay-per-click or A9 optimization? Out of those 200 people, 3 hands went up. So this is a huge opportunity, and you guys all have a tremendous first mover advantage. So you don't have to do things like go into your inventory management system and harvest all the phone numbers and create an audience in custom audience in Facebook and then run retargeting ads to them. Don't ever do that, okay? Don't ever do that stuff. You don't have to. That's everything I've got. I hope you guys found it valuable.